This video is concerning the accounts receivables aspects of Stone Profits. If you look at your accounting module listed here, you'll notice that there's 4 separate flowcharts that you can look at. For this video, we're just going to be dealing with the accounts receivables. The flowchart is designed to be as complete as possible, so you're seeing the whole sales flow here, from the far left with your customers, products, and services list, to the middle where you're seeing your opportunities and your sale orders. We're going to be starting with just the invoice list, taking receipts from those invoices, doing bank deposits, bank reconciliations, and your AR summary and detail report. You can come to the AR home and click on the invoice icon to view a list of all your open invoices. So these are going to be from newest to oldest. You can search here by customer, code, date, and so on. It'll show you the status of the invoice, so if it's been invoiced, partially paid, or fully paid. And you can print the invoice here without having to open it up directly. I'm going to open up this partially paid invoice, and it will take me to the invoice detail page. And at the bottom here, you're going to be seeing the balance due for the invoice. There are 2 totals here. The bottom is the sale order total, and the top is the invoice total. They are slightly different in this case because most likely we've added delivery charges at the invoice but not at the sale order, or we could have updated dimensions to reflect that change. On the left-hand side here, you're seeing some past due locks and some credit limit locks. At the bottom right, we have the option of receiving a payment. So we can go into each individual invoice and receive a payment, or in a moment I'll show you another way of doing that. This is your new receipt entry page. Because we came from the invoice, my customer is pre-selected. Most likely the cash account should be set up to an undeposited funds. You'll select your payment method, fill in the necessary required information, and because the invoice I came from is 4/17/1907, it's pre-selected that invoice for me for that amount. However, you can override that amount and say where you want that money to go to. So then I could save and view this receipt, or I could save and add a new receipt, which would bring up another blank page for me to find the new customer. This auto apply button that I selected, I could use this to start paying off the oldest invoice first, or it also locks the amount down, where then I can go in and play with where I would like that amount applied to. I'm going to save and view this receipt without fully applying this payment. To show you an example, this is the payment receipt from the customer. And you're seeing that $280.73 was applied, and the amount unapplied is $219.27. Any invoices that you apply that to will be listed here at the bottom. So I could open this invoice, and now I will see that payment here. Also on the customer page, wherever you are in the system, if you see the customer page, it should be linked up, and that will take you to the list page for the customer. On the list page, you have 2 tabs dealing with AR, the AR tab and the Receipts tab. So you'll see those listed there, and they're also dynamic, so you can click on that and view their detail. Let's go back to the AR home. The other way you can take customer receipts, and the way that I recommend, I feel it's a little quicker, is to come here to the customer receipts icon and click on the plus sign. So we're skipping the step where we have to search for the invoice, open up the invoice, and then click on receive a payment. We're just take a new receipt, and now we need to search for the customer. Find the customer, select them, and again, just take the details of the payment. Now this customer doesn't have any invoices listed here at the bottom, so if they're taking if you're taking a payment from them, it's going to be left open as a credit. Amount unapplied. We also have a way for you to take deposits in the system. You do it the exact same way, but deposits are prior to an invoice sale. So you would have to go to the sale order and do it from that page. I'll show you an example. Let's click on customer deposits. It's going to show me a list of all the deposits. I can open up a deposit, and it's going to show me where it's tied to. So this is an advance deposit for sale order 4207. When I invoice that sale order, the system is automatically going to apply that amount. You're also noticing the details here that this deposit has been deposited on bank deposit 540. If this deposit was to bounce and you need to void the check, you would come to the detail page for the receipt, click on the action button, and void this receipt. It asks you for the date that it bounced, void the save, and now this is a voided receipt, which reverses the AR, so this balance is going to go back onto their accounts receivable. Let's go back to the AR home. So we've looked at deposits and receipts. Let's look at bank deposits. We're going to click on the plus sign to do a new bank deposit. Now, most likely when you were taking receipts, you were putting them into an undeposited funds account. So you're seeing from which undeposited funds are you putting that money into which checking account. And you basically just go through and you check mark the funds that are going to be deposited that day. At the bottom, you're going to see a total, so you know exactly what your deposit slip should be for. We do have a cash over / shortage feature here. So if you took cash and when you go to count it at the end of the day it's short or it's a little over, you can post it here. Complete the deposit to save. It takes you to the detail page where you can go back and reference what went in on that day. Go back to the AR home, and we're going to look at the bank reconciliation. So we'll click on this icon. When you get your statement at the end of the month, or perhaps you do this daily, you could select the account you want to reconcile, select the month. Let me pick another bank account since it doesn't look like there is anything. Not too much here in my demo, but you're getting the idea that you're going to see all of your deposits and withdrawals listed here. You have some search options here. If you want to see debits only, credits only, or flip them in the list. So again, whatever on your statement that has cleared the bank, you're just going to check mark here in the list. If you've had any money deducted for a bank fee, you can record a service charge here. Or depending on the type of account, perhaps a savings account, if you've earned any interest, you can post that here. Just make sure you put in your statement ending balance and save your changes. Now, if you go to reports and accounting and your bank reconciliation, this is where all those reconciliation reports are stored. So again, if you want to go back and view them, you have to have access to that in the reports section. You're going to go to the bank account you want to reconcile, or excuse me, you want to look at. Select the month, and it's going to store all that detail here. The last thing under the AR home is your AR report. So you have two options, your summary or the detailed views. If you have more than one location, you can select that here, your as of date, and then view the report. This is all dynamic, so you can open up the customer page by clicking on their name. Your search options here, you can also export or print this. And I'll show you what the detail looks like. It's on a tab here also. So this will show each individual invoice, or if you also want receipts to show, we can have them listed. So just to summarize, your AR home is where you can take your customer receipts, do your bank deposits, and then reconcile at the end of the month. One last thing dealing with AR, you may also post credit memos to a customer account. If you're wondering how to do returns, please reference a video dealing with sale orders. But in this video, I'll show you how to do a credit memo. So you're actually going to go to your sales home and click on the plus sign here on your credit memo icon. And you have two options. The return order I discussed in the sale order video, but the new credit memo is if you want to post just a sum to the AR account of the customer. So perhaps you do some sort of loyalty program, you can do that this way. Just find your customer, select the service that they're getting this credit for. So if you're not seeing what you need here, you can set up services in the list section. You can fill in a description and then post the amount. So this is a credit now on their account, and I can apply this balance to other transactions. So if they had any other invoices open, you can actually select that invoice, post it, and apply.